Welcome to another episode, everyone. This is the 10 most dangerous hoods in Westside Compton. Stay away from these hoods. You don't have to check in. Just stay away from these hoods. You've been warned. We're telling you now, don't go over there. 10 worst hoods, most dangerous hoods in Westside Compton. This is Rap News Street Politics. Shout out to that individual.
Rap News Street Politics, and we back to give y'all more of what y'all been asking for, man. Today, we hitting the east side. We finally here. Y'all been asking for it. We starting in Compton. Now, Compton got a whole lot going on in it, man. Number one, it's probably the sketchiest area in the whole city, man. These back streets in Compton, the one-ways, is going down. They got racial tension. They got the Pirus. They got the Crips. We jumping right in. Number 10. Southside Barrio, Tortilla Flats, man. This is a Sudaño hood. The SA gang, they beefing heavily with the Treetops, man. Right there off Compton Boulevard, between Rosecrans and Compton, they section is jumping, man. Now, T Flats also been known to be a little bit racist, you know what I'm saying? They beef with the black gangs out there. But mainly, you will see these guys get into it with Treetop, Compton Largo 36, man. We done seen them all the way by the Treetops into the front hoods. You know what I'm saying? These dudes is all over the west side of Compton. And before we go, man, we letting y'all know this is West Side Compton, man. West Side, we gonna touch on East Side later. These are all West Side hoods, man. T Flats also beef with CV 155. Now, when I say CV, I mean Compton Barrio. These are Southside Sudaño hoods, man. They beef with CV 70. They've also known to beef with Treetop's enemy, Fruittown Piru, amongst other hoods like Palmer Block, Santana Block, man, the list goes on. These dudes are extremely active, man. They've been to Compton for a long time. They not to play with. Now, lately, Treetop has kind of been pushing their hood back in that little war, you know what I'm saying? But trust me, T Flats ain't nothing to play with, man. They've been ringing bells for a long time, man. The racial divide is serious. Number 9, we jump into they enemigos, man. The same hood that YG 400 is from, Treetop Piru. Again, we just told y'all, these dudes into it with the T Flats, man. They into it with the Fruit Towns. They into it with the neighborhood Pirus. Man, it's jumping over here. Of course, they beefing with the Compton Crips as well. Now, not only is YG from over here, but you know, an old school rapper, DJ Quick, he from over here too. Oleander, Spruce Street, Arambe. Man, these dudes is all over here now. Most of these Piru hoods is gonna be running down Rosecrans. This hood is tucked right in between Rosecrans, Gonzalez Park, where the FTPs hang out, man. This section is extremely active. This one of them Piru sets before you get to the east side of Compton. But they also known to beef with Grape Street and Pocket Hood, man. These dudes be outside in their section. Y'all stay out of here. There's no reason to even be in Compton for real. Number 8 on the list, we going to another Sudaño hood. We going to Southside Compton Barrio.
Excuse me, yeah, that's for sure. The Flats are no joke. T Flats, they put in a lot of work. They've been beefing with a lot of different gangs out there in Compton for a very long time, and they have been holding their own, to say the least. They've been having this beef going back and forth with the Treetop Pirus, number 9 on the list. And as you just heard, those individuals are into it with different Piru sets. At least they were. Things are simmering down now, thankfully. And, you know, they were pushing individuals back by themselves, beefing with a lot of different hoods. The Treetop Pirus, they're no joke.
55. Now, we done seen these dudes all the way from Greenleaf to the Campanellas, man. They hood is major. Lately, they've been known to beef with BKM, best known Mexicans, but they intertwine between Acacia Block, the ATF, Spooktown Farm Dog, Nutty Block, and like we said, all the way to the Nellis, man. These dudes is cracking, man. When you see these dudes on the wall, man, you're going to see who they beefing with. They've been known to beef with the Nutty Blocks. Of course, they beef with the T Flats, like we just said. They beef with the Westside Pirus. They in the Nellis beefing with them too. Man, the SA hoods out here ain't nothing to play with. The racial divide is serious. These dudes is jumping. CV 155. Now, number 7 on the list, y'all gonna know this hood, man. One of y'all favorite rappers from over here, man. Roddy Ricch, Park Village, Compton, Crip. These dudes on Wilmington, man, they got a cold street, man. Laurel, when it turned in the center, That shit cracking over there, man. It's like a blind spot. Man, these niggas got the Wilmington Arm projects. The gates blown out on that motherfucker. You can just walk right up in there if you want to, man. It's lit in this section, man. Park Village is jumping. Now, like I said, a lot of these hoods over here, a lot of these Hispanic gangs.
Yeah, you have to be extremely careful, really, with any hood that has apartment buildings like that, projects and what have you. But I've been over there in the Wilmington Arms, and man, it's spooky. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know some people over there. You have to know how to get out of there. As he said, the gates are blown out. They have all these cuts and blind spots. People coming up missing. It gets dark and crazy. No, man, you have to be careful.
Beef with the black gangs. This ain't no different with Park Village. They beefing with the CV-155s. They also beefing with the Compton Vadio 7-0s, man. They've also been known to beef with a hood close to them, Anzac Great, Neighborhood Piru. Now, they've been known to click up with the Nutty Blocks, Atlantic Drives, and the Southside Comptons, man. These dudes is cracking in this section. Like I said, they off Wilmington, Laurel. Y'all gonna see the building, man. When y'all off Wilmington, y'all gonna see it, and you gonna see it's jumping over here. Across from them, they got the original block Pirus. You know they into it with them dudes. They also close to the Palmer Block and the ATF, man. It's jumping in this whole section on the west side of Compton. Number 6 on the list, we gonna come back down Wilmington, man, to a hood we just touched on that messed with the Park Village. Nutty Block Compton Crip. Now this hood, man, it's been jumping lately. A lot of out-of-towners been in this set. If y'all know that battle rapper that exposed Remy Ma, Geechee Gotti. This is section, man, off the Grandies. They got a one-way on Grandy. That shit jumping on that one-way, them apartment buildings, but they also stretch down to Greenleaf. But lately, like I said, we seen them boys from the rack out here. Man, Geechee Gotti got the lamb in this bitch. They got Lil Reese. They got 16 Shadow. They got Tay Savage, all in the nutties, man. This shit crazy, but like I said, CV-155 is over here. They beefing with them guys, but they main enemigos, man. The ATF, man, they really going at it with them dudes. Acacia Block Compton Crip, Spooktown Compton, and Farm Dog Compton Crip. Nutty Block is going at it with them dudes. But of course, they also beefing with the Pirus, man. It ain't no gray area with the Crips and the Pirus out here, man. You know, it's some sections like we done touched on in Inglewood with the A-Trays and the families. That shit ain't happening over here, man. These dudes is beefing with the Pirus. It's up. And when I say the Pirus, I mean Neighborhood Piru, Westside Piru, Campanella. But they also beefing with Lantana Block Compton Crip, Palmer Block Compton Crip, and pretty much all other neighborhood Crips, man, including Twilight Zone, man. These dudes is into it. Again, they section is jumping, whether it's in the morning, whether it's at night. These dudes is cracking, man, in the Grandies. Now, before we get to this next set, man, we've been showing y'all some of the craziest hoods in Compton. Like I said, this shit real sketch over here, man. Y'all gotta tune in, but before you do that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We on the road to 100K, man. Help us get to that motherfucker, man. We've been dropping y'all with straight gems in this bitch, man. Number 5 on the list, though, ATF, man. Acacia Block, Farm Dog.
Yeah, the Nutty Blocks, you know, the Nutty Blocks are for real. As we get there, they have a lot of beef going on through the Nutty Blocks and have been holding their own throughout all of those beefs for a long time. As he said, they're beefing with the ATF and they're beefing with different hoods. Of course, they're beefing with all of the Piru sets, neighborhood sets. They are going at it with different individuals over there in the Grandies, and it's not a place you want to get caught at night.
Spooktown, these dudes is jumping. Alondra and Acacia, man, Acacia Block probably the most active one between the 3 of these hoods. They are collected. They 3 different sets to form the ATF, but Acacia Block is not playing with this shit, man. These dudes all over the place. Like I said, they beefing with the number 6 hood, Nutty Block, heavy. But not only that, we done seen them going at it with the CV-7-0s. We done seen them beefing with the T-Flats. Like I said, man, it's a real racial divide in Compton. So pretty much, man, all these hoods gonna be beefing with the SH for the most part, especially on the west side. But they also beef with Pocket Hood and Palmer Block, man. This is an old school collective, man. The ATF, these dudes been clicked up for a long time. So y'all gotta watch out, man, especially when you're on Acacia and Alondra, by the Popeyes and down, the Chevron, all of that. It's jumping in this section. I can't stress that enough. They're not too far from their enemigos. Pretty much everything in Compton is right next to each other. These hoods is right on top of each other. And like I said, These hoods are sketchy as hell, man. When you rolling through these blocks, man, you can't tell who's popping out of where. You know what I'm saying? Some of these streets be real slim. And man,
and the streets are very slim. And they have a lot of cuts and they have a lot of alleys. And if you don't know exactly which street you're going down and whose neighborhood that is, you can find yourself in a world of trouble. That's the bottom line. Because you go on one block and there are individuals hanging out and you literally go to another block and it's the same thing. And if you don't know which block is which individuals are from which territory, and you are over there willy-nilly just chilling, thinking you can find yourself in a world of trouble. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. This is what individuals mean when they say check in, or at least this is what they're supposed to mean, to advise you on where you can go, what areas to go into, and what areas not to go into. The occasion blocks, as the narrator here, Rap News Street Politics indicated, they are extremely active. They have earned their spot on this list.
These alleyways be dark as hell, man. Y'all gotta stay out of Compton, especially the ATFs. Number 4 on the list, man, this is a hood that a lot of y'all know about, a lot of y'all heard about. For some reason, a lot of celebrities be jacking these niggas, but shout out to my nigga J Stone, man. Piru, man, FTP. These dudes be heavy at Gonzalez Park. They be in the Douglas apartments, man. Now, for some reason, they hood that has some goofy shit.
Yeah.
You're not from Compton?
I am from Bumpton.
You from Compton?
Yeah, I'm from Bumpton, yeah.
I thought you from Mississippi somewhere.
Nah, I'm from Bumpton. I'm from California, Bumpton, yeah.
How?
Crazy shit, yo. But also Compton minutes from here, but I don't know what it.
That was Soulja Boy. We already heard OG Bonnie Hunter BJ say earlier that Soulja Boy he's not a blood. He's sitting here talking about he's from Compton, California. Bro, Charlamagne the Guy said you from Mississippi. Man, knock it off.
It is if they got big homies that be letting Chris Brown and Soulja Boy do this whole shit. We done seen Soulja Boy get over there and got punked on. You know, he did some bunk shit over there. We done seen Chris Brown damn near fuck his career up trying to hang with these niggas. But for some reason, man, Fruittown Piru was popping to these celebrities, man. They in the mix, but they also in this street mix, man. Like I said, they beefing with the Treetops. They beefing with the and they share them common enemies right there. But they close to Front Hood Compton, man. And they beefing with Front Hood. They also beefing with the Eastside Piru set, Mob Piru, and they beefing with Carver Park. These dudes' hood is active, man. Again, like I said, these Piru hoods be on Rosecrans. These dudes is on the north side of Rosecrans. Now, you can also roll up Acacia on here, too. You can roll through the Treetops and end up in the fruit towns off Oleander. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you cross Rosecrans from the trees, you get straight to the fruits. You know what I'm saying? These dudes is hella close. And for some reason, they've been beefing and actively for a while. But they also share that common enemy in T-Flats, man. Like I said, it's a lot going on in Compton. But that's going to lead us to our number 3 hood, man. Front Hood Compton Crip. Now, you may not see these dudes all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But we done seen these guys on Granny and 130th. We done seen these dudes on Wilmington and Nord. Damn near it ain't Enemigos, the Anzac Grapes. Man, they outside. But we've also seen a T-Flats stretching all the way from Compton Boulevard all the way into the Front Hoods beefing with Largo 36. So not only do these dudes beef with Largo 36 too, just like the T-Flats, but they also beef with the T-Flats, man. Like I said, these hoods in Compton is on top of each other. So
they on top of each other and they're all beefing with each other, or a lot of them. Look at the T-Flats. The T-Flats are out here beefing with everyone. But they said, you know, they've been beefing with them and beefing with them, and they're still here. They're still around. That alone is evidence that they're not a gang that you want to play with. When you have all of these different enemy oppositional sets, and you're still around, that means that you are holding your own. And the Front Hoods are indeed, you don't see them as deep as you see some of these other hoods. But the individuals that they have from their section are close-knit, and they do what is necessary. They take care of business. It's not a hood that you want to get caught in if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're at. You don't want to get caught in any of these hoods in Compton if you're not from over there. It's just unfortunate, but that's the way it is. It's not just Compton. That's the way it is in all of these gang-infested neighborhoods and territories. We're going to get into, the 10 most dangerous hoods in L.A. as well, and in Inglewood, so forth.
Pretty much wherever you go in Compton, you're going to be in somebody's hood regardless. You know what I'm saying? From the 105 to the 91, wherever you at on the west side or east side of Compton, you going to end up in somebody's hood. Now, these dudes is next to the Westside Piru, next to Centennial High School. You know what I'm saying? So they over here, they beefing with the Westside Piru, they beefing with the Campanella Parks, beefing with Anzac Grape and Pocket Hood, as well as Treetop. It's crazy over here, man. The racial divide, the Pirus on Rosecrans, the Compton Crip being linked up with each other. This shit is cracking in Compton, man. It's nothing to play with.
It is nothing to play with. And the racial divide is very serious out there in Compton. The racial divide is something to reckon with. You don't want to just bypass that, look over that and thinking that you'll be safe because you're not a gang member. That's not necessarily the case. A lot of non-gang members, a lot of non-affiliates have been unalive in some of these territories, not because they're gang banging, because they're non-affiliates, they do not gang bang. But nevertheless, the individuals who take their lives, they do not know that. And if it's a racial thing, a racial war going on, and oftentimes this is what it is with some of these gangs, not just in Compton, but everywhere. A lot of different black gangs are beefing with Hispanic gangs. Then you would be in trouble on either side, Hispanic or black, walking up and down the street. And it's a racial thing. They oftentimes do not care whether or not you gangbang. Sometimes they do, and you can say, man, I do not bang at all. But if it's a racial thing, then that doesn't matter to the individual.
You can tell when you get up out there, man. This shit ain't nothing to play with. So we just dropping these bombs for y'all. Make sure y'all listen to this list, man. And number 2 on this list, we're going to jump over the Westside Piru and we're going to hit the Campanella Parks. These dudes always been active. This over to the Campanellas. But that don't mean that the Campanellas.
The Westside Piru, that was the first Piru set. The Westside Pirus were the first Piru set, I believe. Pretty sure. I don't know why we skipped over them, but okay, let's go.
This ain't there, man. They beef with the CV-155s and they main blocks lead to the back of their park, man. It's a no-go zone. And it's extremely sketchy, like every other hood on this list, man. Y'all go to Compton and fuck around if you want to, man. You gonna see it. Don't matter what time you there. This shit is not safe, man. The Campanella is one of them sets. And regardless, whatever you see, a CV-155, yeah, that may be CV-155 hood, or they may be trying to push into the Nellas, but the Nellas are extremely active. Now, these dudes is pretty much clicked up with the Westside Pirus.
That's true. You know, Campanellas, they got some spots over there too, some places where they be. That's in the cut. They have blind spots over there. You'll come up missing if you don't know what you're doing. You will come up. I've been over there. You'll come up missing. You have to know people. You have to know. You have to check in. That's what we're talking about. If it's not your hood, you have to check in, or you will be in trouble. Or it's just best to just stay away from there, period, if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
They not fucking with Front Hood, Carver Park, Mona Park, Compton Crip. They not fucking with Grape Street. They not fucking with the CV-155s, like we said, the Tortilla Flats. And they also known to beef with the Bounty Hunters. And we've also seen these niggas that touched up with the Hoovers as well. These dudes ain't scared to go against anybody, man. It's jumping in this section. The Nellas, a well-known, well-respected hood over there. So y'all gotta watch out when you at Campanella Park. But last but not least, and like we told y'all, man, this hood ain't about the number 1, number 10 hood. Number 10 hood is better than the number 1 hood. You know what I'm saying? What matters is you made the motherfucking list. It ain't about the numbers on the list. But number 1 on the list, Westside Piru. Now this hood, everybody know about. From dudes like,
I was saying, why the hell he skipped over the Piru? Or, the Westside Piru. Okay, they number 1 on the list, that's why.
Kendrick Lamar, Jay Worthy, Wale the Sensei, man. This is the original Piru set. Piru Street run through here. Westside Piru, Centennial High. Tan's Burgers, where Should caught that body. These niggas is over here, man. Westside Piru, like I said, they started this Piru shit on the west side of Compton. These niggas hood is large and it's active, man. Tam's Burgers is right on the outside of they shit. On 142nd, man, these dudes' hood is jumping. They next to the Nellas, they next to the front hoods. They beefing with Mona Park, Carver Park, Nutty Block, Southside Compton, Tortilla Flats, CV 155, and all the East Coast sets, man. Westside Piru ain't nothing to play with. And again, we coming. We know it's more hoods in Compton. This was the West Side. We hitting y'all with a part 2 of the East Side of Compton. So I know niggas gonna be in the comment section like, oh, you done missed this hood, you done missed that hood. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be all up in the comments doing all kind of shit. But stay tuned in. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Rap news and
Click that by accident. Okay, there you have it. 10 most dangerous hoods on the west side of Compton. As he said, he's heading to the east side of Compton. That's on the west side of Compton. And the West Side Pirus are they started Piru. They was the first Piru set. So it makes sense that they would be number 1 on the list. They are very deep, are the West Side Pirus. They are very respected. They started this shit. So yeah, those are the 10 hoods though. And I would agree with this list. You know, you can maybe add 1 or 2, take out 1 or 2, but it's going to be that when it's a list of 10, it's hard to fit everyone in. Someone's going to be left out. It doesn't matter anyway. We're not trying to glorify gang banging. We want this stuff to end. We just want you to be safe, nevertheless, and want you to know what's going on in these territories. If you're going to be out in LA, if you're going to be out in Compton, you need to know where you're going and what you're doing. You need to know about some of these hoods. Again, not to glorify it, but just for your own safety. You have to be careful about where you're going and what you're doing. You have to understand the climate in these territories as well, such as the fact that there's a lot of racial tension there in Compton between the blacks and Hispanics with the gang stuff. And of course, it spills over beyond that. So you have to know how to navigate and know what you're doing. That's it. Or you can find yourself in trouble. The Nutty Blocks are, everyone on that list. The front hoods, they're serious, and the Treetops are going at it with different. All of these hoods, as we can see, are all going at it with a lot of other hoods. The front hoods, you can name 10 different hoods that they're going at it with. The Nutty Blocks, you can name 10 different hoods that they're going at it with. The Treetop Piru, you can name 10 different hoods that they're going at it with. And all of them involve a Hispanic gang. They're all going at it with a Hispanic gang, often the same Hispanic gang. The T-Flats or the 155s, CV70s. And so these Hispanic gangs are going at it with each other and different black gangs. It's just chaotic out there. And again, it is real close knit. Everyone is close by. And so if you go out there to Compton, you're driving around, and you're walking around, and you don't know where you're going, you go from one block to another, you're thinking you're in the same territory, and you're in a whole different hood. Just be careful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay safe and stay free, people.